So there's this article that talking about New York being underwater in 80 years because of climate change. All right, not going to read the whole article, but you can look at it in the link below. But it says that we could see 6 feet of sea level rise in the next 80 years. So let's go to the risk zone map here from Surging Seas, and we have 6 feet here programmed into it. And take a look at New York City as well as Long Island and show which areas are going to be affected in New York City by 6 feet of sea level rise. Um, this is going to affect all the low-lying areas in New Jersey, but also in New York. You can see a lot of areas along the water flooding, right, especially downtown. LaGuardia Airport would be underwater. Um, Looks like JFK would be okay, but much of the Bay Area Islands here, Rockaways, would be underwater. Coney Island would be underwater. Um, Broad Channel would be underwater. And then we get to Long Island and take a look at this. So let's take a close look at the South Shore because all the investment they want to keep pouring all the investment to the South Shore, but Long Beach will be underwater mostly. Oceanside, Island Park, and you can see it's starting to creep into Rockville Center a little bit, and also starting to creep into Lynbrook. All right, it looks like Woodmere and Hewlett, Cedarhurst would be very close to flooding over there. Freeport would be flooded. Baldwin would be flooded. And you can see here that the flooding goes up to close to Sunrise Highway in some areas, and much of areas around Merrick Road would be underwater too. But they want to keep investing in their enclaves down there. Jones Beach would be underwater. We go out east and we take a look at again, Massapequa would be underwater. We pretty much the whole South Shore. Let's go to Babylon Village. It looks like that at least part of the downtown of Babylon could be flooded. Floodwaters, yep. Floodwaters would get very close to downtown Babylon, and the Babylon Rail Yard, which is right over here, very close to flooding as well. All right, yet they want to keep investing in all the up-to-date, good infrastructure on the South Shore, even though it's going to be underwater. Um, you have Heckscher State Park would be underwater. Might even get close to Bayard Cutting Arboretum, the place we were earlier this month. Looks like the water comes pretty close to downtown Sayville, as well as Patchogue. It's over here. The water comes close to Patchogue. And of course, all of Fire Island will be underwater too. Lighthouse, everything. It'll all be underwater. Alright, so this is what the 6 feet of sea level rise is going to do. The flooding will be bad in Mastic Beach as well. Let's go a little further east to the Hamptons. West Hampton. West Hampton Beach, which is right over here. Very close to flooding. I think West Hampton Beach is right over here. So the would be very close to flooding the village of West Hampton Beach. Hampton Bays would probably be okay. And again, West Hampton by the airport would be okay. Even if we up this all the way to 10 feet, it's still going to be okay by the airport because that's really West Hampton North proper. As I said, elevation is higher over here in the Pine Barrens. Let's take a look at Riverhead at 6 feet. Looks like there'll be some flooding along the Peconic into downtown Riverhead too. As we head east, Southampton. Southampton is somewhere over here, so the water would come close to Southampton Village. What about East Hampton? East Hampton is over here. East Hampton looks to be okay, East Hampton Village. But Napiog, yeah, Napiog would be underwater. All those beautiful places that we've gone to, the dune lands would be lost. And actually, this whole area of Montauk would then be an island. It would be separated from the rest of Long Island. Let's go to the North Fork. Orient. Orient and Orient Beach State Park underwater. Greenport partially underwater. This actually could wind up being islanded too. Yep. Uh, right. Not as the North Shore won't get hit as hard because the North Shore has steep bluffs. So you're literally in the North Shore. You'll go from having 100 to 200 feet of elevation down to the beach, so that it won't affect you too much. But some of the lower lying areas along the North Shore, such as Port Jefferson Village, though that could be flooded. Old Fields could be flooded. Sunken Meadow State Park, which is over here, could be flooded. Eaton's Neck would be separated from the mainland. This is Eaton's Neck. It would be separated from the mainland. As it is, this road floods out a lot. Lloyd Neck would also be separated from the mainland, and then Calmsett State Park is over here, so that would be separated. Bayville would be underwater as well. Bayville. Parts of Glen Cove on the north end would be. As far as Port Washington goes, possibly some flooding around Manor Haven. So this is what sea level rise is going to do to our area. And yet, we continue to give the South Shore new power lines. We continue to give the South Shore preferential treatment and investments and luxurious train stations, while the middle of the island is just forgotten. And a large part of it is forgotten. And it makes no sense because, again, and this doesn't account for the storm surge, all right, hurricanes. So this doesn't count. Actually, I could hit income. Let's see what happens here. So the incomes are very high over here. All right. And these are the people that are going to be affected. They want to invest in these areas just because they want to be with their own kind in their own enclave. You know, from an environmental standpoint, it just makes no sense what's going on. So, again, this is what we're dealing with as we go into climate change. And I honestly think they keep having to readjust these. I think this 6 feet of sea level rise, I think this is going to be more of it's going to happen more in, I would say, maybe 40 or 50 years versus 80. Because once we go ice free in the at the Arctic, it's going to happen very rapidly. That's for sure. And we know that climate change is going to make the climate of Long Island very hard to deal with if you can't stand extreme heat and humidity. And we'll have to live out west at elevation, at least to escape that kind of thing, places like Flagstaff. But anyway, I figured I'd make this short video talking about the latest story on climate change. Thank you for watching.